Do you feel that you are ready to start recording your very first podcast? Today, I will share some of my tips and tricks that I have used. Hejsan hej, I am PixelPia. If you haven't started planning for your podcast yet, I just did a video tutorial about how to plan and prepare, and I will have that linked down in the description and in the end cards. But today we are going to talk about starting your very first recording. Before we talk about how to record, I want to talk a little bit about the environment you record in. I am in a medium-sized room. There could be some echo if I recorded on my phone in this room. One thing I can do is to put rugs on the floor, put pillows and throw blankets around me to lessen that echo. But the tip that I got is, if you are recording using your phone, go into the closet. That is probably the best sound isolating room you have in your home. That's where I did my first recording. So let's start talking about recording. My very first recordings were done just on my phone using the built-in voice recorder. It didn't have the best quality, but if I did it in my closet, at least it sounded decent. If you want to up the game a little bit, you can download a more advanced voice recorder on your phone. One that I would recommend is Dolby On, and you can download that for both Android and iOS. In Dolby On, you can even do some simple editing of your voice recordings afterwards. And if you want to do some more advanced editing, you can also do that on your phone. For Android, I would recommend an app called Music Editor. And for iOS, I would recommend Hokusai, which is another free app. Later on in this series, I will talk a little bit more about editing your voice file and adding music. Another thing you can do to improve the quality of your recording is to add a microphone. My very first microphone I added was this little Movo microphone. I was lucky that the phone I started on had a microphone jack. If you don't have that, there are adapters to buy both for Android and iOS. And this little mic cost $40. They also have Lavalier Mics from Movo, and you will actually get a double lavalier. Those are the little mics you click on to your clothing. And with the double lavalier mic, you can also do an interview on your phone. My next step up was a lavalier, but for me it was this, which is a wireless lavalier. It has transmitter and a receiver, and I hooked those up to my computer, and I clicked on the little microphone on my clothes, and I could be, I think it was up to 130 feet away from my receiver, as long as I had my transmitter on me. That's another very good alternative. As I said, I hooked up my lavalier to my computer. My next step was naturally to get a microphone like this one. This is the microphone I use both for my videos and for audio recording. This is a USB condenser mic. It is called Fifine, F-I-F-I-N-E. I might pronounce that wrong. And the one I have here came with an arm, with a stand, with this filter which will take away the P and P. And I paid $60 for the whole package. You can buy this microphone with just a table stand for I think around somewhere between $30 and $40. When I moved over to the computer instead of using my phone, I started recording using Audacity. That's a free software where you can both record and edit. So now we have talked about recording using your phone and using your PC. There is a third alternative that works both on the phone and on your PC. And that is to use an app or a website where you have a combination of recording and hosting. I have already done a series about Anchor, which is one of those platforms. And I will leave a link down in the description if you are interested. But there are other platforms like this, and two of them that I will take a closer look at later on in this series are Streaker and Podbean. Those are not the only three, but those are the ones I will take a closer look at. I have an extra tip for those of you who are YouTube creators. I got this idea from a friend of mine, and it worked. I used to do videos about education, and I did a series about the 9 types of intelligence. Those are no longer public on my channel, but I wanted to use the material. So what I did was, using my video editing software, which in my case is Filmora, I extracted the audio from those videos. And with just a little bit of editing, I could reuse that audio and create a short podcast series about 9 types of intelligence. I will add a link to that as well down in the description. It is not a perfect solution, but it works decent. And if you just want to try and dip your feet in the water of podcasting, maybe that could be an idea for you. Hopefully these tips and tricks will help you to start creating your own podcast. And before I leave, remember, never stop learning.